I'm the Simple Car Guy, and this is a THINKWARE Q1000 dash camera. I'm excited to check it out as it promises high quality footage during the day and night, has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and lots of smart modern features built in. I've reviewed a few THINKWARE cameras in the past and I was impressed with the footage they were able to produce. So I expect a lot from this new camera as well. Let's see what comes in the box, set it up, talk about its features, and check out the driving footage. So looking at the box itself, you can see what the camera is going to look like, and we can tell right away that it's not going to have a screen. But yes, it has 5.1 Bluetooth and the latest Wi-Fi built in as well. Not too much on the sides here. We will have a 32 gig micro SD card included, so that's good. A lot of the cameras don't have that included. Here in the back, we can check out some specs and features. So this has the Umbrella H22 CPU, 156 wide angle recording, so that's great for capturing a lot of footage in front of the vehicle. 1440p QHD with true HDR, so that means when the sun hits the camera directly, you'll at least be able to see better colors, and it will try to distinguish between being overexposed and underexposed, so it hopefully works really well. Of course, we'll see when we have the live footage. We have the mobile apps, of course, the warping system, we'll see what that's all about. Parking surveillance mode with impact and motion detection, so you do have to hardwire the camera into the vehicle for those functions to work. You have energy saving, so that if you do wire it in, the battery will not die of your vehicle when the camera is being used. Supports up to 256 gigs of micro SD storage, so that's good. Some of them only support 128. Of course, it has built-in Wi-Fi, but luckily also has built-in GPS. Some of the less expensive cameras don't have that built in, so yeah, that's kind of annoying. And yeah, that's about it. So let's open it up and see what it looks like. Alright, so here's everything that comes in the box. We have your safety information and warranty and all that kind of stuff in a bunch of different languages. So that's right here. For a user guide, you can just scan the QR code. You also have your support information. You know, if you need to talk to somebody, you can call these numbers. You have a micro SD card, 32 gigs, that's included. You also have this heat blocking film, so that's pretty cool. I haven't seen this on any other camera before, but what this will do is basically protect the camera from overheating from the sun, so protect it just a little bit. Probably, you know, if your car gets hot inside, it's still gonna get hot, but not nearly as much as the sun directly hitting it. You also have this bracket that's gonna attach to your windshield with this 3M tape. You're gonna attach that to the windshield and then slide the camera onto it. Pretty cool. And of course, you have a replacement one. Once you use it once, of course, you wouldn't want to reuse it. It's not gonna be as good, so they give you an extra one. You have a few little clips to guide the wire, so you can guide this power wire all the way to your cigarette lighter. Depending on where it is in the car, you may need to put some of these on the windshield to make it a little bit easier. But yeah, that's of course included as well. And lastly, let's look at the camera itself. So looking from the front view, we have the name and an LED, so you can enable this indicator if you like. We have our lens that's protected right here, so you can take that off. We have the lens here, and it is adjustable, so you can adjust it up and down by just moving the actual lens right here. Then on this left side, we have a micro SD port just right there, and on this side, not much other than the reset button. On the back here, we have DC in for power, and we have radar, and you have a back camera input as well. So you can add, it's optional on this camera, but you can add a rear camera as well. And then if you go to the bottom of the camera, as you can see, there is no screen, which honestly is what I like about these cameras. I have another one, I believe it's a U1000 that doesn't have one either, and I love it because it hides really nicely behind the rear view mirror in my car, and it just does not distract me at all, so love it. And we have a couple of buttons here, of course. We have the record button, so this is kind of if something happens, you press the button and it will make sure that that footage is saved. You have your mic button, so you can turn it on and off, Wi-Fi button, and the power button, as well as the format button right there, and a few LEDs to tell you what's actually happening. But yeah, that looks pretty cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this installed in the car, connect my phone, get it configured, and we'll go from there. Physical setup on this camera is very easy. You just have to route the power wire to the nearest power socket, or if you plan on using the parking feature, connect it to the OBD2 port on your vehicle. You can, of course, hardwire it in, but that's a little bit more complicated. After it's powered on, download the app. There are a couple of things you need to know about this app, as it's required to use the camera and to access high-end features. You have to download the Dashcam Link app and follow the steps to connect to the dashcam. Once connected, you will find lots of useful settings here to look through and adjust to your liking. I usually leave these kinds of settings at default, review the footage after driving it for a little bit, and then adjust accordingly. As an example, if you get the optional rear camera, you may have to adjust the exposure if you have tinted glass, or flip the image upside down or side to side. You can also see a live view from this app and view and download footage directly to your phone. I've also noticed that it's quicker than other cameras I have used, which is great to see. You can, of course, also just take the microSD card out and copy the files over to your computer. It comes preloaded with a program that can install on your Mac or PC, so there is no need to find it online. It allows you to view footage and even GPS location. Once you are all set up on this app, there is a second app that adds more functionality to the camera. You will have to connect your camera to an access point for internet, and then you will be able to access THINKWARE connected features through the app. Some of the features include getting an impact notification or even remote live view through your mobile phone. THINKWARE actually has a great video on how to set this up in much more detail, so I would recommend checking that out. With everything set up, it's time to talk about the driving footage. As you can see, it records outstanding footage during the day with great contrast thanks to the high-quality Sony Starvis sensor, 1440p resolution, and True HDR. True HDR especially makes it easier to see things like the license plates when driving in the sun without overexposing the darker parts of the video. It also captures a big part of the road with the viewing angle of 156 degrees without any fisheye effect. This is thanks to the de-warping feature built into the camera. Nighttime footage is just as impressive, as you can actually make out license plate numbers in most cases. While we're in the car, let's hear some unedited audio directly from the camera. Alright, so we are driving at night now. It's about 8:35 in the evening. Pitch dark outside, a little bit cloudy. Just wondering how it looks at night and what my voice sounds like. I'm sitting about 2.5 to 3 feet away from the camera, going about 40 miles an hour, so there's definitely not a lot of road noise. I have now used the camera for a few days, and I must say I'm very impressed with the quality of the video this camera records. This is the biggest factor for me when making a purchasing decision, and this camera delivers on that. The extra features on this camera is what takes it over the top though. My favorite is the red camera alerting. Here is what it sounds like in the car.
Red light camera in 100 yards. Red light camera ahead.
There aren't many cameras on the market that allow remote viewing and alerting either. Even if you do need an internet connection for that, it adds great peace of mind. Overall, I would recommend this camera to anyone that needs a high quality camera that will not be distracting while driving, yet warn you when needed. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of the THINKWARE Q1000 dash camera down below, and I'll see you in the next one.